gets down low. Comes round towards us, a little bit wider, but that could be because of the speed. Mark Loren's time, 20.05 seconds, the fastest time so far for Mark Loren, 20.05 seconds. Successful day here today. A lot of people thought he was a man who was riding really well, and he's also very, very good on the grass, of course. So, number 9 it is, Marvin Cox, riding his speedway with Poole. Again, a world long track finalist. So then. Very stylish riding here. See the front wheel fighting its way around the bend. Well, I've lost the words. This high speed dash off this top bend to our left. He's done it. 19.99 seconds for Marvin Cox. So then, 2 to go. Steve Schofield and Sam Ermolenko. Here's a rider who knows all about success here in Andover. Comes out just a little bit more to greet Steve Schofield. We look to our left and watch him power off that top bend and head into his flying lap. Here we go then, this is the one that counts. So heads for the exit off the bend with the crowd on around the paddock there, watching his every move as he heads across the line. Steve Schofield's time, 20.23. So it's still Marvin Cox just below the 20-second barrier. They're outing on the grass, but this man has ridden a long track. He's had some experience, not recent it's true, but has experience riding on less predictable surfaces, shall we say. Well, it's Super Sam then. Coming round. This time he's going to be into his flying lap. We know a lot of Wolverhampton fans were coming down to support Sam this afternoon. They're sure going to enjoy this flying lap from Sam Ermolenko. Ermolenko's time, 20.38 seconds. So, the barn record for 1991 at the Ace of Aces goes to Marvin Cox with a time of 19.99 seconds. 19.99. One of the great names from Germany, Karl Maier. And then, the Russian European Grasstrack champion, Reef Sidecars. Then the British Masters champion, Mark Loren. And there is a man who will enjoy this, Uppi from Holland. Alongside him, a very successful continental performer, our own Clayton Williams. And then Egon Muller. They're definitely enjoying this, I can't say I blame them. Marvin Cox. Alongside him, John Bostin. Then there's that quick Swiss, Marcel Gerhard. Then from Australia, Craig Boyce. Alongside him, it's Peter Carr. Mitch Shirra's got a grin on his face already. And then Steve Schofield. From Czechoslovakia, Vaslav Millick. From Russia, Oleg Koguskin. Then Trevor Banks. Then Borisov Haddock, yet another one of our Czech riders. Then from Germany, twice-time European Grasstrack champion Robert Barth. And then
we don't know.
Paul Fry's got into the act because we missed Mathias Kroger. Sorry, Mathias. And then moving on, Hank Snyder. What's that there? Zenek Schneiderwind. Thierry Hilaire. The French know how to do these things. You saw that, Andy? Andy Riley. Jesse Uneren from Switzerland. Will James. Now who we got? Richard Mussen and Paul Smith. Well, fellas, thank you, Donna. You've got to go down there and do it all again. Only twice as many.
Across to meet the sidecar crews. We can start off with last year's winners. Of course, number one in your programme. It is, of course, Alan and John Blewitt. Well, indeed, I think Donna's taken her life in her hands going past all this lot, but we'll go through them slowly because you're now meeting the sidecar boys. And here, into the programme comes number 2, Steve Smith and Keith Wall. They will, of course, we move to number 3 in your programme. They travelled all the way from Australia. They are the Australian champions. It's Gary Moon and Steve Robbins. That's the Australian champions. We now, of course, move through somebody who we all think is our true champion, Steve Dewison and Dave Ward. A lot of support for the next crew. It is crew number 5 this afternoon. It is, of course, Roger Measor and Steve Bailey. In very determined form, winners of no less than 7 nationals this year, Russell Eng and Paul Urycz. Making it a truly international class, another man that's travelled all the way from Australia. It is, of course, crew number 7 this afternoon. They also have had Australian championships. It's Darrin, Treloar and Phil Hudson. Oh, we're more used to perhaps to seeing the next crew on the speedway circuits, but they're here again. They've won the Aces before. It's Paul Pinfold and Peter Jones. No comments at all about the Mac there. Crew number 9, they've come into the programme this afternoon in place of Richard Piggott. It is, of course, Martin Bailey and Shane Cann. I'm not repeating any of these comments that Donna's getting as he goes through. Next crew is Rob Cameron and Steve Smith. Well, I was guessing that he might do something. It might get worse, Donna, as we go to the end of this line. But the next crew, number 11, John Hoseley and Chris Skipper. Outfit number 12, the youngsters, Neville Penfold and Tony Miles. Looking very professionally kitted out, Rob Wilson and Vince Jones. Crew number 15, it's Jerry Adams and Sean Pittock. Crew number 16, another young crew that really have made their name in the national scene. It's Ivor Matthews and Mike Dowles. Number 17, we've met Rob Cameron. We now meet the father. It is, of course, Mike Cameron and Paul Randall. He's got that magic touch. Number 18, it's the local crew of John Hiscock and Shane Lapham. Crew 19, all the way down from the Midlands with a replacement passenger, Gary Jackson and Matthew from Roller. Moving into our reserve crews, it's crew number 20, that is, of course, Pete Dyer and Tony Bemister. And last but no means least, the other reserve crew, Len and Ray Foreman. And Donna, there's one more thing I've got to ask you to do right at the end of the line here. Two of our international marshals. Meet Pat, meet Terry. Well, indeed, you've now seen the complete lineup of riders. Ian, I believe you wanted a few words.
Yes, just to remind all sidecar drivers and solo drivers that on the start tapes we are adopting the international rule that once the green light comes on, touching the start tapes means exclusion. And we don't mean to give you a second chance. Touch them once, out, no questions asked.
Also a finalist for the European Grasstrack. So here we go then for the start of the solo Ace of Aces competition here this afternoon. And at the end of the day, we will cheer and we will present the garlands to the top performers. Well, Jim's been telling you today and yesterday how tight the sidecars are, and also, of course, how difficult it is to try and even predict a likely winner in the solos. Great racing, I'm sure. Here we go, the first race of the afternoon. Is Jeremy Doncaster going to get there? We're looking to the front. Number 6 gets there. It's Uppi Boss. Up in there in contention. Looks like Jeremy Doncaster coming through. So then, let's pick them up as they come towards us. And Jeremy Doncaster's made it through to the front. Marcel in second place. Marvin in third. Uppi Boss in fourth. Keen on to that Aces Championship. But look at Mark Borum, the holder of the Speedway Star British Masters Championship, up in second place, keeping the pressure on. It's Kingsland in second place, Reading leads. Marvin Cox in third place. Jeremy Doncaster and it's Mark Borum with a beautiful piece of overtaking there. Jeremy Doncaster in second place, Marvin Cox in third. So Mark Loram back in front. And Jeremy Doncaster under pressure. Marvin Cox goes third. Doncaster drops back to third place. Mark Loram from Marvin Cox from Jeremy Doncaster from Uppi Boss. And they come round towards us, and Mark Loram going to score his first victory of the afternoon. Victory for the British Masters champion. Mark Loram wins. Marvin Cox in second place. Jeremy Doncaster in third. Uppi Boss in fourth. In fifth place, Egon Muller, and in sixth place, Christoph Jubenard. And in race 2, we have Peter Carr going in place of Martin Dugard. So number 14 is Peter Carr. He's joined by Joe Screen, Marcel Gerhard, Barth Atahati, Millick Kuguski, Clayton Williams, Sam Ermolenko, Zenit Snyderwind. Well, we've seen Olivaj Hadek go well here before, and Oleg Kugushkin, and Sam Ermolenko. Well, he practiced very, very well indeed this morning. Clayton Williams was going well yesterday. And there's Joe Screen. Second place, last year's Aces. Gets underway and down the hill they go. Clayton Williams gets a good start, but he's overtaken by Sam Ermolenko. Up the inside. Clayton Williams around the outside in second place. Sam Ermolenko disputing it. Ermolenko goes to the front. It's Marcel Gerhard. Sam Ermolenko, Clayton Williams as we look across to the far side. And round they come towards us. Sam has a little bit of a moment there, but it's Marcel Gerhard. From Sam Ermolenko from Clayton Williams in third place. Second place, Sam Ermolenko on the inside, Clayton Williams on the outside, equally close for that fourth place battle. So they come towards us, it's Marcel Gerhard still in front, Sam Ermolenko in second, Clayton Williams in third, and in second place, and Sam Ermolenko is right on the outside of him, Clayton Williams is hard on his heels, but the leader, Marcel Gerhard, the flying Swiss, is coming down the hill towards us once again. Joe Screen's through to second place, and look at the Melbourne there, Sam Ermolenko, Clayton Williams, and Carl coming up into contention there, and it's Peter Carl who is into fourth place. Clayton Williams takes him back again and goes off to the far side. But the leader, heading for the checkered flag, Marcel Gerhard, it's the Swiss, he's taken a win. Marcel Gerhard wins. Joe Screen in second place. Ermolenko in third, and Peter Carr and Clayton Williams very, very close together, just ahead of Oleg Kugusin. Maier, Steve Schofield, Mitch Shirra, Jesse Inovan, Richard Mussen, John Bostin, Trevor Banks, and Thierry Hilaire. Gets underway, they charge down the hill towards us. In the middle is John Bostin, make a good start. Trevor Banks is there with him. It's Trevor Banks. Schofield up to fourth, and Schofield looking to make his way through. Maier seeking that second place. Here we come off the bend. It's Trevor Banks who leads. And Trevor Banks comes down the hill. Steve Schofield comes through. The area there. Just remember the good races we've seen between these two on this circuit. Trevor Banks then, really flying along. Steve Schofield in second place. Scoey, the most successful rider at the age of 18. The area there still in third. In fourth place is Maier. In fifth place is Egon. On the far side, it's Steve Schofield trying to close up on Trevor Banks. Well, we've seen these two race so many hard races. Trevor Banks in front, Steve Schofield on the outside. Banks is still there. There's a lap to go. Schofield in second place. The area there is third. Banks, he finds off the challenge on the far side. Still Trevor Banks and Steve Schofield. Maier in third. They come round towards us. Schofield goes again. Banks is in front. Is Banks coming outside and wide? But Trevor Banks gets there. Steve Schofield in second place. Maier in third. In fourth place, Thierry Hilaire. In fifth place, John Bostin. In sixth place, Mitch Shirra. Behind him, Richard Mussen. And then at number 32, Jesse Inovan. 3, 30, 10, 15, 35 and 32. That time, once again, 1 minute 25.82. Over the page we go. And in race 4, Reef Said Go Reef, the holder of the European Grasstrack Championship, goes with Paul Fry, with Hans Otto Pingle that should be, with Will James, with Mathias Kroger, with Craig Boyce, with Robert Barth and Andy Riley. So this year's European Championship holder goes with the man who's won 2 of them in 1989 and 90, Robert Barth. So then, here we go, the tapes go up. Will James making a good start. Craig Boyce goes with him. They're collided on the top end. Well, it looks as though that has been stopped. Will James up and on his feet, that's good to see. And on the bike, Craig Boyce. So then we'll see a rerun, no doubt, of race 4. Here they go, they're coming into line again, and this is a rerun of race 4 on your programme. Well, certainly the Russian European champion making a very good start there. So did Will James, of course, but then Will came together with, looked like Craig Boyce on the far side there. Certainly those were the 2 riders who went down. Go. Starting team are not happy. Well, I think there's an exclusion for touching the tapes. Here we go. And it's number 12, Craig Boyce, who gets Fry up into 3rd place, Andy Riley in 4th. Now here we go then, and it's still Craig Boyce. Back to 5th place. So then, round towards us once again. Up in front, he's still in there. It's still from Australia, Craig Boyce from 4-5 from Will James. So then we're looking to see if Paul Fry can close up at all on Craig Boyce. One more lap to go. Craig Boyce is still there. Paul Fry in 2nd place. Then Will James. He's coming through. Again on the far side. So then it's Craig Boyce and Paul Fry. And Paul Fry goes for it. Fry goes up the inside. He's got the advantage. Can he take this one? Fry goes for the line. It's Paul Fry from Craig Boyce in 2nd place. Then Will James. Then number 4, Reef Singer. Then number 24, Robert Barth.
Yes, we are indeed. With us is Trevor Banks. Congratulations on your first heat win, Trevor. You must be well pleased with that one.
Yeah, I'm still puffing for that one. Yeah, the hard race. Steve again behind me, and no, I managed to hold him off for 4 laps, so it's good.
After 2 laps, he crept up on your exhaust pipe. Were you aware that he was right behind you?
I think he must have been getting a bit cold, saying he was trying to get the fumes from the exhaust pipe to warm himself up. But I realised that he was behind me, and I just moved out a bit because I thought he was going to do the run around the outside.
Too early to tell, but is Trevor Banks going to be amongst the top riders this afternoon?
Well, it is very early to tell, but I'd like to think I'm going to be in the final and have a result today.
Congratulations on your first race win.
Cheers, thanks.
Well, thanks, Clive. Good news, I'm sure, for a lot of supporters to hear that Trevor Banks is in great form. Of course, he has got a good record at the Ace of Aces. 1986 was when he took the title. He's been 2nd in 89 and 2nd in 87. So yes, always competitive, and good to hear that he's going well. A great way to start the day. We now move into the sidecars, of course, the first time, and indeed the first race of the sidecar competition. And what a lineup we've got. Marty Baker, of course, comes in place of Richard Biggett, riding number 9. Marty Baker and Shane Can. The rest of the lineup: Rob Cameron, Mike Cameron, Ivor Matthews, Gary Moon and Steve Dewison. We get underway, and as you can see on the far side, we've got Marty Baker slotting into 2nd place, but it is in the lead Rob Cameron at the moment. Ivor Matthews looking to go around the outside of the one that's first bit. Gary Moon in behind Ivor Matthews, following around that top end. It is Rob Cameron and first bit to lead at the moment. As I say that, it is just at the moment because Ivor Matthews has got right on the outside of their sidecar, pushing hard into that pit bend. As we go down the back straight again, we look for Gary Moon to make a move. Steve Dewison at the back at the moment moves through into 5th place. But we got Bostin come out, got that top end. Rob Cameron in first bit. Really in control at the moment. They lead as they come past us for the 2nd time. Ivor Matthews right up there trying the inside line this time. Gary Moon now under pressure from Steve Dewison. And Dewison starts to move through on the inside of Gary Moon. Those two together in 3rd place as you go into the top bend for the 3rd time. We look for Rob Cameron again to come past us, leading this field, and a very competitive field it is. All outfits still together at the front. Any one of those 4 could take this first heat of the sidecars. Ivor Matthews again tries to go around the outside on that pit bend. And this time he's up the back straight and he's got the edge going into that top corner. He'll try and cut back across the racing line, but he's not enough room. Driving hard out of that top end, and Rob Cameron's going to get it on the line, I don't know. Well, that was close to the line. We'll look for our line judges on that one because the front wheels were together as they come across the line. A great effort from Ivor Matthews on a tremendous way to start the sidecar competition. 10, 16, 3, 4 and 9. The winning time 1:25.70. Oh, a tremendous way to start the sidecar competition. If we look to race 6, it's the second of the sidecars. Gary Moon has been out for the Australians. Darrin Treloar now comes out in race 6. Oh, we look to see how he can do against a field of Jerry Adams, Gary Jackson, Rob Wilson, Roger Measor and Paul Pinfold. So different types of machinery out there again. Roger Measor on the new machine, he tells us he's very happy with it. He said it's handling brilliantly, the engine sounds perfect, and indeed we look to see how well he's going to go. Rob Wilson has had a very good season this year, looking determined to try and get himself on the rostrum at this year's Aces. Gary Jackson, of course, problems yesterday in practice. He spun round, was with Kevin Williams at that time. Kevin unfortunately spun off the back of the bike and picked up an injury to his hand. Means he couldn't take part, but a very confident passenger has stepped in. That, of course, is Matthew from Roller. He rides for Gary Jackson. And Paul Pinfold with a new passenger for today. Very experienced passenger, Peter Jones. So, race 6, we look to see them leave the gate. Of course, a lot of pressure on these starts for the sidecars. Darrin Treloar has made a good start as he goes down that back straight. It is Treloar that gets to that corner with Rob Wilson on the outside of him as they come round off that first bend. Coming down this Millick straight. Rob Wilson still right there with him, right on the outside of his sidecar. Gary Jackson's up in the third, Jerry Adams up in the fourth, Roger Measor right on the back wheel of Jerry Adams and moves around the outside of him now into fourth place. So Roger with a disastrous start, equally Paul Pinfold a disastrous start, but Darrin Treloar has got away from them. He comes round off that top corner, leading from Robbie Wilson in seventh place. Gary Jackson in third, but now comes under pressure from Roger Measor. Measor closes right up to the back wheel of Gary Jackson. It's that third place that we're watching as they go down that back straight. Jackson starting to close up on Robbie Wilson in second. It's allowed Darrin Treloar and Phil Hudson to get away from them. And it is easily coming past us to take that last move. Welcome to Roger Measor on that top end. That's a disastrous start to the day for Roger Measor as he coasts across the line. Means that now Paul Pinfold has been elevated up one place. As we watch that far side, it is the Australians, Gary Moon, nearly Gary Moon, Darrin Treloar, of course, and Phil Hudson. They've come out and take their first win of the afternoon, followed by Robbins and Mitch Jones, Gary Jackson and Matt from Roller. Jerry Adams finishing in fourth spot. After race 7 for that. Paul, of course, having a brilliant start to the day. That's going to come after race 7, if you can bear with us in the pits, Clive, and indeed we look for race 7 to come to the line. It's John Hiscox.
All I can say is, obviously Craig was on the same line, he wanted the same line, that's where it was, the racing line, and just had to make a little bit of to get underneath it.
There, great to hear from Paul Bryan, indeed going well, but we're underway with race 7 as we go down that back straight. It is Rustling and Paul Urycz that lead down that back straight, as indeed they did from that start line. Neville Penfold right up there in second place. He's looking very, very quickly here. Right behind Paul Urycz and Rustling, of course, leading from Neville Penfold. Smith, third place at the moment. John Halsley closing up on Steve Smith for that third place. And Tony Miles looking over his shoulder. That, of course, is the passenger of Neville Fenton in second place. Rustling and Paul Urycz under pressure from Neville Penfold, but still keeping the edge on them as they go down that back straight. Steve Smith getting away from John Halsley. Disappointing to see Alan and John right at the back of the field. To make up for that. Next time out, the checkered flag going for Rustling and Paul Urycz. Neville Penfold and Tony Miles take second. Steve Smith and Keith Ward in third place.
Well, here we go with the solos back again. Second leg of the Ace of Aces solo competition. Thierry Lee, Robert Barth, John Bostin, Matthias Kroger, Borovoj Hajek, Hans Otto Pingle, Paul Fry and Jeremy Doncaster. Well, I think it was Matthias Kroger who lost his outing in one of the earlier races for touching the tape in his first outing. So then, the helicopter takes off, so do the riders, down the hill they come. Up in front, Borovoj Hajek. In third place, Jason Dewison down back. Around towards Borovoj Hajek on Grimley in there, and in fact up in the front, he's there, it's Donkey, it's back there. He wants to make sure he's in that big money final. We saw him practice going so well, so Jeremy Doncaster clearly keen to do well. Oh, Doncaster in trouble again! Doncaster in trouble again! So then, Thierry Allaire, Paul Fry. Paul Fry trying the outside this time, not making it. Thierry Allaire still there. In third place is Robert Barth. In fourth place. Thierry Allaire is still there. Paul Fry trying to do it again. He was overtook on that bend. Oh, look round the outside. Look at Robert Barth. Robert Barth trying to come round the outside. Not going to get there. Victory there for Thierry Allaire. Then Robert Barth and Paul Fry very, very close together. And in fourth place, Borovoj Hajek.
I was stood on the line all ready to go, and they seemed to hold him a long time. And they caught me with the throttle off instead of on. Just a blink, if you like, it was gone.
What's the conditions like for these out there?
On the track, it's good, but you need to be in front, or you can't say.
Now, I see your brother John has got problems with his hand. What's actually the situation?
Yeah, well, thanks for the compliment. It's my son, John.
Oh, sorry.
He's been hit on the finger with a stone. It looks painful, but I think he'll carry on.
Do you think he'll be okay to carry on, will he?
Yeah, we need 3 wins, I think, to do something.
They breed them tough, don't they?
Up north, yeah.
Thanks very much, Alan.
So we went down on race 9. Hope you got those numbers the first time because we broke for the interview from the paddock. Here we go, and Steve Schofield in the middle, Mark Laura right there with him. So then, Steve Schofield from Mark Laura. Come round once again. And it's still Steve Schofield leads Mark Laura in second place, Clayton Williams in third, Joe Street in fourth. Now he's made up some already through to fourth place. Clayton Williams drops back to fifth. Looks like Andy Riley in sixth place. Richard Mussen behind him. Meanwhile, then it's Steve Schofield from Mark Laura, from Joe Screen, from Trevor Banks, from Clayton Williams, from Andy Riley. Steve Schofield from Mark Laura. will be a battle. Mark Loram looks for the inside line and doesn't quite get there. Still Joe Screen is third. On the leader, Steve Schofield, but it's still Steve Schofield from Mark Loram as they come round towards us, heading for the checkered flag. Schofield in front, Loram in second place. That's the way they finish. Joe Screen is third, Trevor Banks is fourth, St. Williams is fifth, Andy Riley is sixth, and Richard Mussen is behind him in seventh place. And then we've got the wild man, Jesse Inovan. 0.64, let's give you those numbers again. They read 16, 5, 2, 22, 7, 31, 35 and 32. Over the page we go to the third race in the second series. So race 10 coming up, Will James, Ermolenko, Uppi Boss, Ermolenko, Max Schneider, Karl Maier, Mitch, Shirra and Peter Carr goes as number 14. They're away, it's a clean start. And Karl Maier goes for the front. Karl Maier, I think, going to come off that Karl Maier from Peter Carr, but a battle on for Peter Carr for that second place, but Karl Maier. 4 times the world long track champion, the 34-year-old from Germany, really flying along. Ermolenko up in the second place, Peter Carr now in third. Will James. Goes down the back straight, past the beer tent. As round, past the grandstand, down towards us. So it's Karl Maier on the lane down. GM, that's an absolute Egon race. Part of the straight on the far side, looks back, sees he's got a length or two's advantage. This time around, 1 lap to go. So it's Karl Maier, Peter Carr, then Will James, then back a little way, 28, Mike Schneider. Establishes himself in second place. Come around towards us for the last time. Victory then to number 3, Karl Maier. Peter Carr in second place. Ermolenko in third. Will James in fourth. And in fifth place, coming through, number 6, Uppi Boss. Number 28, Mike Schneider slides very wide indeed and has to knock it off a bit. Sedinick, Schneider win.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Go-kart racing was good. And then when it go-kart racing, they all get on. It's very defeated. Yeah. That was brilliant.
So here we go then. To our left we see the competitors lining up for race 11.
Scott, come here. It's the 5. Yeah.
We will be track watered shortly.
No program. Give it up. Come on. Weekends as well. At night.
Here we go, race 11 on the line, they're away. Everybody's got away. So then, Egon Muller it is. Marcel Gerhard right there with him. In second place, it looks like Marvin Cox comes through into second. Marvin Cox in second, Egon Muller in third, but the leader from Switzerland is Marcel Gerhard. In fourth place, number 17, Vaslav Millick. Really flying at number 11, Marcel Gerhard. Fourth place in 2 world long tracks, and last year many people thought he was going to win, and then he had a problem and dropped back. Still Marvin Cox in second place, Egon Muller in third. Still Vaslav Millick in a brief victory. Great Boyce in trouble, cruising round a long way back. Obviously has got problems. Meanwhile, then the leader, Marcel Gerhard, comes down the hill. 1 lap to go, still holding on Marvin. Great Boyce just pulled off into the centre there. Meanwhile then, the leader, he's led throughout. Number 11, Marcel Gerhard, comes down the hill. Victory for him. In second place, Marvin Cox. In third place, Egon Muller. In fourth place, Reef St. Garib, just ahead on number 17, Vaslav Millick.
All these crews know that, of course, it's so vitally important to score well in these early heats. Rustling, obviously the one most pleased at the moment with that win first time out. He's got the far side of the start gate this time and looks to have made a good one. As he leaves that start gate, he's already got a bike's length on the rest of the field as they go down that back straight and into that first corner. John Hiscock up in second at the moment. I imagine he's got close to moving through in the second place. A great first corner from Ivan Matthews to get himself up in the second. Steve Smith has followed him through as the gap was left by John Hiscock. Steve Smith has now moved through in a third place. Steve Dewison trying to move up as well. Again, Steve Dewison has missed the start, but John Hiscock goes back round the outside of Steve Dewison, back in that fourth place at the moment. Under pressure now from Ivan Matthews and Marcel. Gap then back into that third place battle where Steve Smith is battling it out with Steve Dewison in fourth place. You look to see at the back of the field there, Rob Wilson having a disappointing second ride, finding out now with John Hiscock. He's second place, and what's going to find his front leg and Shirra. Now they said last night that their biggest problem was going to be on what tyres to use. It looks as if they've made the right decisions, because that motor is driving all the way down that back straight, but Ivan Matthews closes up on them going up that hill and into the top corner. For the last time, it's going to be the checkered flag this time as they come round. Urycz really on top. They come across the line and take the second checkered flag of the afternoon. Ivan Matthews and Marcel in second. Steve Dewison's won that battle for third place. Steve Smith then in fourth. 6, 16, 4, 2, 14, 18, the winning time 1:25.20.
You know, Jim, I said we get some very funny little messages pop into us. We've got one about the Speedway Star Grasstrack and Speedway show that I mentioned, and in fact we've got the date now, the 1st of March 1992 up at Coventry, and it says that Ken Lane, Simon Wigg, Jeremy Doncaster, Joe Screen, Andy Smith are all likely to be there, and there is a sponsored body paint in aid of Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. Jill Lane has promised £10 for the first go at Ken, and Steve Dewison £5 for a second go. Tickets minimum 50p enables you to colour in the rider of your choice. It says loincloths will be worn. I'm not sure how serious we should take this, but it obviously looks like we all need to go along on the 1st of March to see if it's all going to happen up there.
Well, indeed, that is the show next year. The date now fixed. That's one we can put in our diary for the 1st of March next year. But as we look to the Ace of Aces for 1991, we've got race 13 on the line. Again, we've got a winner from the first round. Darrin Treloar had a win first time out. He's pulled it in the air, though, and had problems on the start line, allowing Alan and John Blewitt to go through into the front. So this is a much better performance from Alan and John Blewitt. They've not missed the start this time. Second. Gary Moon is up in a third, and Gary Moon is going right round the outside of Roger Measor. Again, Roger's been hit with problems as he puts his arm in the air going into that pit bend. A great shame this to see Roger Measor with that new outfit that he thought he was happy with, pulling out again, and look at Gary Moon going through on the inside of Alan and John Blewitt. Off the top corner there, the Australian champion Gary Moon with passenger Steve Robbins. Darrin Treloar also trying to get through the inside of Alan and John Blewitt, but Blewitt still have that second place at the moment. It's getting close for that second place though, as Darrin Treloar again goes underneath and tries to get through on the inside. That's exactly where Gary Moon went through. Into that top end then. We've got first and second for the Australians. Gary Moon comes round and takes the last lap flag. A much better ride from him. This time out, Darrin Treloar not equaling his first time place of the first time out, and indeed now holding second. to Alan and John Blewitt after that great start and back in third place, working as always so very hard to keep that outfit driving. As we come off that top bend, it's going to be the first win of the afternoon for the Australian champions, Gary Moon and Steve Robbins. Darrin Treloar takes second, Alan and John Blewitt takes third, and Martin Baker crosses the line for fourth place. Over the page we go, or indeed pages, as we go past that fabulous photograph that's in the centre of the programme of last year's aces. Very muddy and wet conditions it was, but Jeremy Doncaster, Clayton Williams and Marcel Gerhard last year. And over the page there's more photographs indeed of the sidecar crews. Gary Moon and Paul Norton there, of course. Paul had to go back to Australia. It meant that Steve Robbins has stepped in to ride passenger this afternoon for Gary Moon. Roger Measor and Steve Bailey, nothing but problems for them this afternoon at the moment, and disappointing I'm sure to a lot of the crowd that are here this afternoon, and we keep our fingers crossed that they'll come back at us later on in the afternoon. Race 14 then, as we look through the lineup, Rob Cameron, the other one of our winners from the first leg, he goes in this one. Indeed, looking to see, it's only Russelling and Paul Urycz that have kept their unbeaten record so far. Darrin Treloar, of course, was the other first round winner. He got second time out. So Rob Cameron and Steve Smith, all eyes perhaps on them, but Paul Pinfold looking to make up for a disastrous first ride. As we look across that far side, it is Cameron that's made the best of the start. Cameron is going into that first corner. Neville Penfold again is right up there with Rob Cameron, round the outside. That pit bend as Rob Cameron tries to hold it tight. Pinfold's right on his back wheel. Neville Penfold and Tony Miles again have gone wide, but they look very, very quick as they've gone all the way around the outside. A great effort from Neville Penfold. Paul again comes through on the inside. Neville Penfold again leads Paul wide. Now allows Mike Cameron to come through on the inside. As Cameron follows his son Rob Cameron in front. Rob Cameron and Steve Smith lead. Paul Pinfold is still there in second place, but Mike Cameron and Paul Randall are holding third and pushing hard for that second. Neville Penfold and Tony Miles making a point. That wide line on the top left. Comes on the inside of it again. Neville Penfold goes wide. I wonder if again they've got problems with the tyres that they've chosen to use. And indeed they go very, very wide past us, and Gary Jackson starts to get close to them. As we look to the front, I said it was Russelling that had kept the maximum so far. It looks like Rob Cameron and Steve exactly the same. They come through and they get a win, and Mike Cameron is in a second. Paul Penfold picking up third place, and a great hard ride there from Neville Penfold to get in fourth place. The third leg of the solos. Tony.
Thank you, Jim, and interestingly enough, Marcel Gerhard goes 2 wins already here this afternoon. Goes with Jeremy Doncaster, who's had all sorts of problems. We've got Will James, who's been scoring steadily. Steve Schofield, who's been going so well. Oleg Guguskin, John Bostin, Vaslav Millick, and Thierry Hilaire. That's the field. This is race 15.
We're in the lead twice, Turn it upside down and go backwards.
We have a message from Mr. Bruce Rogers. We understand there isn't a problem, but your instructions are to travel home to Abergavenny, not to go via Worcester. No problem there as far as we know. Marcel Gerhard and Steve Schofield. And it's Gerhard who goes around that Marcel Gerhard, Steve Schofield, and look at that battle for third place. Will James sitting there in fourth place at the moment. Looks like Thierry Hilaire maybe. And starting by it's Doncaster coming there. Marcel Gerhard, Steve Schofield, Jeremy Doncaster. Flying last year. Come back. Certainly going very, very well indeed at the moment. So it's Marcel Gerhard now, who leads. Steve Schofield still in second place. Then Jeremy Doncaster, then Will James battling away a little bit. Coming up and joining in that three-way action now. So meanwhile then, it's Marcel Gerhard. 1 lap to go. Really powering on. Steve Schofield in second place. Then Jeremy Doncaster. And Thierry Hilaire. Marcel Gerhard going for his third victory of the afternoon. Coming down the hill. Number 11's going to get there. Marcel Gerhard wins. Steve Schofield in second place. Jeremy Doncaster in third. And in fourth place between Thierry Hilaire and Ermolenko. 1:30, 18, 33, 17 and 10. Over the page we go, and there's the man himself, Marcel Gerhard, at the top of the page. Super Alan Whale photographs. Race 16 then, Mitch Shirra, Jesse Univan, Joseph Screen, Matthias Kroger, Uppi Boss, Zenex, Snyderwind, Paul Fry and Trevor Banks. Charge, Trevor Banks on the outside, looking for the lead, Paul Fry's right there with him, and is Uppi Boss. Paul Fry pulling through into third place. Good to see Uppi Boss going so well in this country. He's a real champion in Holland. So Trevor Banks next. Uppi Boss from Paul Fry. And that's Joe Screen. Have to work for it. So Trevor Banks then, out in front, the Mr. Consistency of the British Grasstrack scene. He's been winning and finishing so well up over the years. He's a tremendous performer, Trevor. Paul Fry is through to second. Goes back to fourth. Joe Green third. Paul Fry is second. The leaders, Trevor Banks. 1 more lap to go then as they come around towards us. Trevor Banks still out there. Paul Fry, Joe Screen, Uppi Boss behind him. Mathias Kroger running 34 this one. And Joe Screen's going to challenge for that second place. He closes up on Paul Fry, didn't quite get there. But Trevor Banks sure is going to go for this one. Trevor Banks wins. Paul Fry in second. Joe Screen in third. Uppi Boss in fourth. Well, Mathias Kroger held on in there and had that fifth place. 28.09. 1 minute 28.09. The numbers are 22, 27, 2, 6, 34, 29, 15 and 32. And a message for Jeff Lovett from the ACU office. Could you meet Mrs. Taylor at Jesse Univan's van? That's a difficult thing to say. Jeff Lovett then, if you're here, could you please meet Mrs. Taylor at Jesse Univan's van? That's on this end of the paddock at the back.
Well, a quick one to Marcel Gerhard. Congratulations on 3 wins so far.
Thank you very much. For me, I'm lucky I win 3 heats. Oh, it's very hard here.
And on a Godden engine as well today.
For me, it's very good, yeah. I'm lucky with this engine in the moment, yeah.
And I'm working on a contract for him next year, hopefully.
I hope, yeah.
Congratulations, keep the work going.
Thank you very much.
Race 17's on the line. Everybody getting a little bit anxious there away. Problems on the star line, as far as I can see. And it's Egon Muller. Egon Muller. And in front, Marvin Cox in second place. Maier, I think, up into third place. Let's see it all happen off this bend. It's still Egon Muller. From Marvin Cox, and then sitting in third place, Hans Otto Pingle. One of the legendary names of track racing all over Europe, and Egon is still up there in front, leading this one from Marvin Cox in second place, Hans Otto Pingle in third. In fourth place, Robert Barth, and behind him, So they come round towards us once again, and the leader is still Egon Muller, still Marvin Cox in there. Then in third place, Robert Barth. Left 23. Maier in trouble, circulating around fairly steadily. Needs any points he can get, of course, so if he completes race distance. Victory then for Egon Muller. Marvin Cox in second place. Robert Barth in third. And it looks like Paul Smith came through just ahead of number 23, Urycz had it. Well, following this next race, race 18 on your programme, there's going to be some more water put on the track at the top end here before the sidecars come out. So we've got Reed Sidecars, the European champion, Andy Riley, twice times British 350 champion, Peter Carr, Richard Mussen, Clayton Williams, Sam Ermolenko, Mark Loram, and Christopher Shirra. Now there's Clayton Williams making good start, but it's Mark Loram that makes the better. Sam Ermolenko right there, Clayton Williams on the outside of him. That looks like Peter Carr, nice conspicuously in fourth place. So then, Mark Loram. It's a three-way battle for that second, third and fourth places. Andy Riley. It's not a nice experience for Andy Riley, close behind. Meanwhile then, it's Mark Loram, the British Masters champion, the man who won the Speedway Star Masters Championship, leading this one. Ermolenko, second place. On the far side, it's back coming towards us. The Kingsland Speedway man who won the British Masters this year, staying ahead of Sam Ermolenko. And Peter Carr challenging for third place, comes through, looks as though he's going to get there. This is checkered flag time, victory for Mark Loram. Ermolenko in second, Peter Carr, and Clayton Williams and Richard Mussen just ahead of Andy Riley, and very, very close together.
Easier to as the crews make their way over to that start gate. I'm quite pleased to see that although the official warnings were that the tape would be out as yet, I hope I haven't put the mockers on it at all, but we haven't seen anybody touch those tapes to date, so some excellent clean starts. We did hear from Clive that Alan Blewitt totally missed the start in his first ride, but made it sound as if that was just human error, not any error of the start procedure, but we're ready to go for race 19 as they all come to line. Indeed, another clean start. Gary Moon has made a brilliant start from the centre of that start line. Mike Cameron has gone after him into that first bend. Gary Moon it was that made the best of that start from the centre of the starting line. Haven't noticed any particular areas on that start line being any more advantageous than anywhere else. We've seen some good starts from the centre, we've seen some good starts from the outside as well. So watch it once again. Indeed, you can see that that time there was a problem with the start gate. It didn't seem to go. That looked a much cleaner start, and Alan and John Blewitt made the best of it. Gary Moon has started in the second place. Steve Smith up into third at the moment as they go into that first bit. Hang on to it. Gary Moon again tries to go through on the inside of Alan Blewitt, squeezes through a gap that almost wasn't there. Gary Moon then up to the front. Alan and John Blewitt now back in second. Steve Smith getting closer to Alan Blewitt as they start to close up going into that top end. Gary Jackson is Mike Cameron with a brilliant into that top corner. Fourth place now. He starts to closed down on Steve Smith, but Gary Moon is really starting to get away from the rest of the field. He's opened up an enormous gap between him and Alan Blewitt, and problems for Steve Smith and Keith Wall. They pulled off in the centre of the first unit. That means that Mike Cameron has now moved up into third place. One more lap to go. You might remember that Gary Moon won his second ride. Wasn't too happy with his first ride. He only finished in third place, but he's got a second time out. This is the third time. And indeed, as Gary Moon goes round that top corner, the checkered flag is prepared for him. So he's second of the afternoon, and indeed looking to make sure of a place in that final. Egon is working very, very hard on the back of it there. Alan and John Lewis take second. Mike Cameron takes third. Gary Jackson is fourth. And John Hiscott crossing the line in fifth place. Numbers again, race 19, 3, 1, 17, 19, 18, and the winning time, 1:23.99. Over the page we go, and already the riders are making their way to that start line. This time we see Jerry Adams, Rob Wilson, Steve Dewison, Roger Measor, Russelling and Ivor Matthews. To date, Russelling of course on a maximum, 2 wins for him so far. Ivor Matthews, 2 second places. Steve Dewison looking to make up on that disappointing first ride. He picked up a 4th, second time out he got a 3rd place, so I'm sure there's been some frantic work going on, sorting out whatever they feel the problem was, gearing, tyres, whatever. They'll be working hard to make sure everything's right towards the end of the day. Rob Wilson, he had a 2nd first time out, so he'll be looking to make another good start. But making an excellent start once again is Russelling and Urycz. They've got the lead going into that first bend. Roger Measor and Steve on his old outfit. He's got 2 bikes here of course. Yesterday he practiced on this outfit that he's been using through most of the season. Came out first of all on the new outfit he's been building just recently, but he's come back out on his old outfit this time. Sideways fast side is allowed. Ivor Matthews to go through. Steve Dewison, of course, slowing up to avoid Roger Measor there, going sideways near us, and Ivor Matthews has gone through on the inside, taking advantage of that and elevates himself up into 2nd place. Steve Dewison closing on him all the time. One more lap to go. Very close to him. Roger Measor behind Rob Wilson at the moment. But as we look to the front, Ivor Matthews is closing down on Russelling. One more corner to negotiate for Russelling and for Urycz as they come round off that top end. Ivor Matthews has got a lot to do. It's not as if he's got time to do it. He's just taking a rest of Russelling and for Urycz. Ivor Matthews and Mike Dowles get 2nd place. Steve Dewison crosses the line in 3rd and Rob Wilson 4th place. Comes to the line in grid 1. He's had a 2nd and a 4th. John Halsey a 4th and a 5th. Rob Cameron, of course, he's now seen Russelling get 3 wins under his belt. Rob Cameron sits on 2 at the moment. He's had 2 successful rides so far. Martin Baker and Shane Can join them. Paul Pinfold. And as they get underway, we can see that also in this one we've got Darrin Treloar. So we look to see them go into that first corner. It's Rob Cameron that's there once again. Paul Pinfold has gone round the outside of him. It's Rob Cameron and Steve Smith that take the lead. Paul Pinfold in 2nd place. John Halsey and Neville Penfold fighting it out for 3rd spot at the moment. That's a close battle for 3rd, but equally close is the battle for 1st place as Paul Pinfold starts to go round the outside. Pinfold then trying to get round the outside of Rob Cameron and Steve Smith, and Cameron really trying this afternoon. Neville Penfold has made a good move to get round the inside of John Halsey into 3rd place, but still that battle rages for that 1st place. Rob Cameron and Steve Smith trying to edge their way around that top bend, as you can see, sticking to the racing line right this time. Not leaving too much space for Rob Pinfold, but then gone wide, and Pinfold knows they're going wide, and Pinfold dives across in front of Rob Cameron. Rob Cameron locks it up, trying to get the better line around that top bend. But it is Paul Pinfold and Peter Jones that get away from them and go down that backside. Look at the scrap we've got for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Neville Penfold leading that group of riders. John Halsey trying to go around the outside. Marty Baker looking for the side gap, but the Takes second place, and who got the best of that battle for third? Tremendous finish there between all three of them. It looked to me like Neville pinfold, but only just. 1, 8, 10, 12, 9, 11 and 7. The winning time 1:25.34.
Well, let's grab a quick word with Russell Ling as proceedings get fast and furious. Russell, well pleased with the way the machine's going this afternoon?
Yeah, everything's going right for us.
A lot of hard work put in, and obviously the rewards coming in on the circuit.
Yeah, it's all a race, but it seems to be working.
That's the main thing. Congratulations, keep it going.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
So here we go then, race 22 coming up. We're back with the solos, the last of the qualifying races for the solo this afternoon for the Ace of Aces final. So then, we have Peter Carr, remember, going in place of Martin Dugard. We have someone, I think, about to be excluded. That's well, certainly had an exclusion, I think, for tape touching. They're all being called back in. Well, minus the guy who got the marching orders. They are away. Clayton Williams in the middle, looking up for a good start. Robert Barth going with him. It's Robert Barth in the we believe it's Mitch Shirra that got excluded for touching the tapes. So then, as we look to our left, Robert Barth then, twice European Grasstrack champion, leads, and into second place comes Ermolenko. Keeping the pressure on, very fit, these Russian riders. But the leader, as they come round towards us once again, it's the double European Grasstrack champion, Robert Barth. So then, Robert Barth leading this one. Comes round towards us once again. One more lap to go. Still in second place, Ermolenko. Then Clayton Williams and Peter Karl. Peter Karl in there. Clayton Williams back in fourth place then. Peter Karl in third. One more bend to go for the leader as they come round towards us and they head down towards us. Victory then for Robert Barth. In second place, Ermolenko. Peter Karl just ahead of Clayton Williams in third and fourth places. And behind them, number 29, then Nick Maier. And then number 32, Jesse Innovan. No 7th or 8th finishers. The winner's time of 1 minute 28.21. 1 minute 28.21. Those numbers read 24, 18, 14, 7, 29 and 32. Race 23 coming up. Mathias Kroger goes in this one. We saw Mathias using number 34 in his earlier outings.
No, I've got to do that.
Powering down the hill towards us. Even Bragg and Egon Muller gets there, but Marcel. We have a red flag on this corner. Egon was going down and then another rider clipped the front wheel of his machine as he went down. Looks like Thierry Hilaire was the other rider involved. Well, we were hearing early on that Egon Muller was suffering a little from earlier injuries during this season, so let's hope that hasn't
going to get cold.
Was any major problems? Let's just hope it was just a heavy fall. So here we go then, rerun of race 23. They're away nice and cleanly, down the hill they charge, the area there, in spite of that tumble making a good start. Mark Laura goes with him. So it's Mark Laura from the area there, looking across to the far side. Looking for Joe Screen is up into third place. I think Ermolenko tucked in behind him in the fourth place. In fact, he isn't this far about that Dower motor on. Powering down the hill. It's still Jerry Allaire in second. Joe Screen third. Second spot. Thierry Allaire's in there. Thierry's been riding well today. Yeah. Unlucky to catch that front wheel. Nothing to do with him being brought off in that previous race. Thierry Allaire still there in second place. Thierry Allaire working away, trying to close that gap. Meanwhile, then the leader heads for the checkered flag. Victory again for Mark Laura. Thierry Allaire in second, Joe Screen in third, in fourth place, Borovar Chadek, and then Ermolenko. Joe Screen looking down at the motor as he went over the line anxiously. I'm not quite sure what all that was about, but he obviously felt that the motor slowed up a bit. In sixth place, number 36, Paul Smith, and in seventh place, number 34, Mathias Kroger. The winner's time are 1 minute 26.74. So there we have it. Let's just check those numbers again. 5, 30, 2, 23, 21, 36, and 34. Over the page we go. And race 24. And Marcel Gerhard goes again with Will James, John Bostin, Marvin Cox, Paul Fry, Hank Schneider, Trevor Banks, and Karl Maier. So then race 24, the last qualifying race for Marcel Gerhard here this afternoon. And the word from the paddock is that there will only be the shortest of gaps for the points to be sorted out before we move on through the programme. There will not be a long interval. Going to line, they're away. Down the hill they charge. Trevor Banks making a good start. Marvin Cox making a better one. And Gerhard going with it. On the exit, but it's a three-way battle into that top end with Marvin Cox on the inside, but Marcel Gerhard dropping back to third place. Then we look across to our left as they come down towards, and then it's Karl Maier out in front, then Marvin Cox, then Marcel Gerhard, then Trevor Banks. So Karl Maier then, looking to score another victory. He's just had one. He needs to notch up the points here. He dropped out in one of his earlier outings, so it's Karl Maier still from Marvin Cox, from Trevor Banks now, and then tucked in behind him in sixth. Meanwhile then, to our left, come down the hill, and it's still Karl Maier with the advantage over Marvin, then Trevor Banks with a similar advantage over Marcel, Karl Maier then, heading for the checkered flag. The victory for the 35-year-old West German champion. Victory for Karl Maier. 10, John Bostin. And in 8th place, number 28, Frank Schneider. And the winner's time, 1 minute 27.14. 1 minute 27.14. Let's read those numbers through again. 3, 9, 22, 11, 33, 27, 10, and 28. Time again, 1 minute 27.14. Race 25 coming up. Now here we go, race 25 then. Steve Schofield goes into this one, but as they pass us, 17 and 6, Uppi, Barth, Vaslav. Schofield is sitting in a 3rd place at the moment. So then, come round towards us, and Bostin going superbly, hanging on to that advantage, and still a challenge from Vaslav, Millick. Steve Schofield in 3rd, and on the 6th. Back again. Still Steve Schofield in 3rd, but looking, searching for 2nd place. In fact, searching, I think, to come through and take the lead. So around the inside there, who's got it? They're pretty side by side. And it's going second and 3rd places side by side, and Steve Schofield out in front. And Uppi Boss comes a long way round the outside, looking to get back 2nd. He doesn't, he has a problem, and Millick is in 2nd, and Boss loses the ground because hands on their feet will get through to 3rd place. Uppi Boss comes back and forward on the far side. The leader is Steve Schofield, the Pool Speedway man, powering round the top bend, the most successful man in the Aces history. Another victory, Steve Schofield wins. Marcel Millick in 2nd place, Hans van den Winkel in 3rd, and in 4th place, Sidecars comes through. Winner in 8th place, and the winner's time, 1 minute 28.25. 1 minute 28.25. Those numbers read 16, 17, 19, 4, 6, 31, 35, and 20. Well, that completes the qualifying races for the solos. All 4 legs completed. We now move across to the sidecars, and message repeated from the paddock. There will be the briefest of intervals.
Well, indeed, as you say, all the rides completed for the solo qualifying rides. We now sit down and work out who goes into those A and B finals. Indeed, more importantly, perhaps the big final. Cameron and Steve Smith, they lead race 26 at the moment, but I say at the moment because Steve Dewison looks to have got the bit between his teeth again. Steve Dewison and Dave Ward go round the outside of Rob Cameron and take over the lead. So Steve Dewison, who's really getting on the point so far by my rough calculation. Darrin reported in this one as well. He missed out completely on his first ride, so he'll be anxious to make up some points. He's still right up there at the top of the point scorers, but he needs to do well in this one. He's 3rd at the moment and going after Cameron again. So Steve Dewison and Dave Ward now getting away from Rob Cameron to pick up their first place perhaps. Rob Cameron holding 2nd. Rob Darrin Treloar in 3rd. A great turn on that 4th place between Mike Cameron and Alan and John Blewitt. Mike Cameron looks to have got the better of it now to get through into 4th place. But as we look to the far side of the circuit, you can see that Steve Dewison has pulled it out of somewhere because he's now got away from Rob Cameron. And after the disappointing start of the day, that's a great way to get the race together. Steve Dewison takes second place. Rob Cameron and Steve Smith take second. Darrin, Treloar and Phil Hudson get third, and Mike Cameron crossing the line in 4th. 22.83. Those numbers again, 26. Race 26 is number 4, 10, 7, 17, 1 and 14. That winning time, 1:22.83.
At the gate, you're not allowed to do it on the Grasstrack
Race 27, we move to the line already. You can see the riders have got themselves to that start line. We see Steve Smith once again, Roger Measor, Paul Pinfold, who come through and won his 3rd ride. So he's right back in there in the point scoring to qualify for that A final. John Halsley, Jerry Adams and John Hiscock. I think a lot of eyes will be on Paul Pinfold. He's right up there in the points. He picked up maximum points 3rd time out. And I make it, as I say, very unofficially that he's in the top 6 at the moment. That was after, of course, 3 rides. As we look across that far side, on their old machine again, it's Roger Measor and Steve Bailey that go into that first corner. Paul Pinfold has gone round the outside of the low as they come round. Right there on the inside side with Roger Measor. Into the front and Steve Smith in 3rd place at the moment. Again, Steve Smith has had a bike change. He's out on that new Wasp frame, and you can see he's going well with John Halsey on the outside of him in 3rd place. And as we look to the front, I mentioned that Paul Pinfold had a win 3rd time out. He's gone with the power on at the moment. Steve Smith still just hanging on there in 3rd place. The plenary power of John Halsey not proving to be as successful as we suspected it might have been this morning when we watched him practice. He's fighting in 4th place at the moment to try and get through in front of Steve Smith. John Hiscock coming in contention with him as well. But as we look to be the last of goes the lead from Roger Measor, from Steve Smith, from John Halsey and John Hiscock. I said that he was right up there in the point scoring. This, I think, will mean that Paul Pinfold will make that A final. So he's been a winner of the Aces before. That was right back in 1985. Roger Measor takes 2nd, Steve Smith takes 3rd, John Halsey 4th, and John Hiscock 5th. And Sean Pitter. The winner's time 1:25.34. Those numbers again, race 27, 8, 5, 2, 11, 18 and 15. The winning time 1:25.34. Over the page we go, and you can see you're confronted by a little banner in the middle there that says that we'll be in interval. And of course, I think a lot of you have probably appreciated, as indeed the organisers have, we're starting to lose light quite rapidly. So the interval has been effectively cancelled. There will be obviously a very short break there while we sort out the points and the qualifying positions for the finals. But after race 28, this race that's on the line, will be not only working out all those solo points to find who goes in this solo Ace of Aces, it'll then be scribbling away to get the qualifiers for the A and the B final in the sidecars. And as we look to the line, it's race 28, Rustling and Urycz have made another tremendous start. They go into that first turn indeed in front of now Gary right up there as well. He's tucked in behind Gary Moon, comes down in 3rd place. He went a long way round and has got himself just into 3rd place in front of Neville Penfold going into that pit bend. So a tremendous line-up for race 28 as we look to see it gets closer at the front. Well, this is a test for the final because I think both these two will qualify. That's why Rustling has had 3 wins so far. Gary Moon has had 2 wins. He takes over from Rustling going into that pit bend. So the Australian champion showing Rustling that he's got the power to go around the outside of him. Ivan Matthews starting to close up on Rustling as well in 3rd place. But it is Rustling that's holding 2nd. Gary Moon now leading. Going for his 3rd win in a row. He's missed out on that very first ride this afternoon. So I'd be interested to find find out what it was that changed from that first ride to his second and third, because indeed, at the moment, he is going very, very quickly. Fastest here in practice yesterday on the lap times. Rustling and Muller is unbeatable until this race. And then what a way to go into the final. Gary Moon takes it. Ron Rustling in second. Ivan Matthews in third. Neville Renfold in fourth. And Martin Baker in fifth place.
Vaslav, Millick, Andy Riley and Borisov Hadek. So the numbers now are 3, 18, 21, 6, 7, 33, 4, 17, 31 and 23. So then just to repeat, and we can see in fact that the marshals are taking up their positions. Four more races to go, and let's complete that in the daylight, if we possibly can. So here we go then, Karl Maier, Ermolenko, Sam Ermolenko, Uppi Boss, Clayton Williams, Will James, Sidecars, Vaslav, Millick, Andy Riley, Borisov, Hadek. What a field. And this is only the consolation final for the 1991 Ace of Aces solo competition. Yes, Andy Riley is in race 29, not Hans Otto Pingle. I don't know whether in the paddock they heard that. Starting gate. Discussion, I think it may be the confusion over Hans Otto Pingle and Andy Riley. Well, Hans Otto goes back into the paddock. That was a mistake on the points. In fact, doesn't go in this race. They're away. Sam Ermolenko making a good start. Clayton Williams with it. He goes down the back straight to hang on grimly to the advantage. So we're looking then for Karl Maier, I think, to come through, and indeed it's Sam Ermolenko who's still there, and Ermolenko battling away. And on the far side then, Ermolenko. The Russian flyer going right out in front. Sam Ermolenko hangs on. It's still Clayton Williams third. Will James is fourth. Behind him is nothing more. The Russians in the lead. Ermolenko, the former Russian junior speedway champion, 25 years old, leading the Ace of Aces consolation final with one lap to go. And in second place is Sam Ermolenko, then Clayton Williams, then Will James, then the sixth coming on. Somebody went very wide and had problems up there. Won't be able to pick out quite who that is, but they come round towards us for the final time. Victory down for Ermolenko. Sam Ermolenko in second place, Clayton Williams in third, then Will James, then Andy Riley, then number 4 crosses the line, Sidecars.
If we look at the sidecar consolation final, is race 30 in your programme. Well, what a mist of fortunes to see the riders that go in the consolation sidecar final. Steve Smith, effectively his first ride of this year. He's out with a new bike and indeed has got through into the consolation final. I'm sure there were a lot out there hoping to see Steve Smith get into the A final. It wasn't going to be this year. He's in this consolation final. Darrin Treloar, of course, the Australian crew that has won so many Australian championships. They're over here riding Speedway, but have taken to the big grass meetings as well. They go after really one disastrous ride which cost them the qualifying place in the A final. Mike Cameron, again, a similar story really. That first ride where they didn't score any points at all means they've come out into the consolation final. Rob Wilson joins them on the line, and of course Neville Penfold just missing out on the points there, not getting into that A final. So a tremendous lineup for the consolation final for this year's Ace of Aces. Going down the list as they go across that start line and prepare themselves for this consolation final: Darrin Treloar and Phil Hudson, Neville Penfold, Alan Blewitt, Mike Cameron. Oh, again the riders come into line for this consolation final. Anxious throttle hands over there on that far side. It just seems there's a lot of people wandering about, concerned obviously, perhaps we've dug a few ruts on that start line during the day. The riders make a decision whether to go in them or not. As we get underway with the 1991 consolation final, Neville Penfold has made a good start, gets himself into the front of the pack as they go into that first corner. He's gone very, very wide down. Darrin Treloar then up into second place, but Neville Penfold has recovered from going wide on the exit of that first bend, has got himself back in front again as they go round that pit bend and up the back straight into the top corner for the second time, and it's Treloar that's gone after him. Neville Penfold is turning on right in the dirt up there. Darrin Treloar second at the moment. On that top corner to come through into third place at the moment. Steve Smith moving up in front of Alan Blewitt into fourth. But as we look across that far side, it's the rider from Kent, Neville Penfold, the youngster that's come through brilliantly this season. He's been in a lot of this, he's been scoring well. He's doing well at the moment, just picking out the looks like getting a victory in this consolation final, riding brilliantly at the moment. Darrin Treloar not being able to close that gap at all, as he now looks to be settled for second place. Rob Wilson up into third, and the gaps are starting to open up as we see them come round off that top bit. It's a great consolation win for Neville Penfold and Tony Mars. Phil Hudson gets second, Rob Wilson and Vince Jones gets third. Alan and John Blewitt just hang on to that fourth place in front of Steve Smith and Keith Wall. As you all know now, and I'm sure have all got 12 in first place there. Neville Penfold and Tony Miles the winners. In second place, number 7, of course, Darrin Treloar and Phil Hudson. In third place, number 14, Rob Wilson and Vince Jones. Fourth place, number 1, Alan and John Blewitt. Fifth place, number 2, Steve Smith and Keith Wall. No sixth finisher, the winning time 1:23.52. Those numbers again: 12, 7, 14, 1, 2. And the winning time 1:23.52. So as we see, we're rapidly losing light. They've already got the riders for race 31 on the line. No break for me, it's straight into race 31. This is, of course, the 1991 Ace of Aces sidecar final. First man over the line takes the 1991 trophy, and of course that golden engine. So we see out of the lineup who it's going to be. I'm sure you've all got your favourites by now. You've seen how they've gone all afternoon. This is how they're qualifying to get into the final. Rustling and Paul Urycz come to the line. Gary Moon and Steve Robbins. Rob Cameron and Steve Smith. Ivor Matthews and Mike Dowles, Paul Pinfold and Peter Jones, Steve Dewison and Dave Ward. Oh, we've got a lot of newcomers to this title by the look of it. We've got 4 people that have never won the title before. Paul Pinfold has won it, of course, in 85 and 86, Steve Dewison in 83 and 88. That's how they line up. Will it be one of the 2 experienced or will it be one of the newcomers? Indeed, of the sporters, Rustling and Paul Urycz make a brilliant start. They've got 4 outfits length on the rest of the field as they go into that first corner. There really was a good start. Now goes round the outside of Rob Cameron. Gary Moon has started to on the inside and tries to get underneath Rob Cameron as Dewison goes round the outside. Ivor Matthews on the back wheel of Gary Moon for 5th and goes through into 4th place. But the challenge for the inside is the front. Closing in on them every inch of the way. They're closing in. They get to the outside of them. Looking to go round the outside, perhaps will cut back going into this top bend. Now they're getting close and they go to the outside and Dewison's going round the outside of him. So Steve Dewison and Dave Ward, the winners in 88 and of course in 83, now get to the front. They've gone round the outside of Rustling and Egon Urycz, of course, put the challenge back on. As you can see, 3rd place, Ivor Matthews and Mike Dowles have gone up there. A great ride from those 2 this afternoon to get themselves up into 3rd. Rob Cameron and Steve Smith is still in 4th. But as we go into the last bend of the 1991 it's going to be a victory for Steve Dewison and Dave Ward. Once again, a tremendous return from them. Rustling and Paul Urycz gets 2nd. Ivor Matthews and Mike Dowles get 3rd. But indeed, I think your heart has got to go out to Steve Dewison and Dave Ward. They've been splattered with bad luck this year. They've had accidents, they've had engine problems, and indeed, what a way to come back. They said they loved the Aces. It seemed a long time since they won it. It was only 88, but now they've come back and done it in 1991. As they come round, show them your congratulations. A very deserved win. So indeed, as Steve Dewison and Dave Ward come round, a lot of people obviously pleased with that one. A tremendous ride and indeed a great victory for Steve Dewison and Dave Ward. Look at the smiles on their faces, they are pleased with that one. Well indeed, time 1:23.7. What a tremendous 1991 sidecar final. Tony, we can only expect the same from that tremendous lineup of solos.
Indeed, Jim, indeed. My congratulations to those sidecar men. What a tremendous race they put on. Right then, so we're looking for the last race of the afternoon. Don't forget this will be followed by the presentation of awards, then the bonfire and the fireworks, so don't rush away. Stay and go around the stalls, have some food, have a drink, have a look at the clothing across on the far side, have a look at Speedway Star store, have a look at Alan Wales photographs. A lot of goodies around here. No need really to rush away. But first of all, the most important solo event of the afternoon, the 1991 Ace of Aces solo final with Mark Loram, the Masters champion, Steve Schofield, the most successful man in the Ace of Aces, Marcel Gerhard, who's gone so well here, Marvin Cox, who's been quietly knocking up the points and very much in contention all the way through, Trevor Banks, who's been going so well, Joe Screen, who was always thereabouts and doesn't give up, Robert Barth, the twice times European Grasstrack champion, Terry Allaire, who got up off the ground and scored good points, Peter Carr and Paul Fry. What a final. We're looking to our left in the gathering gloom as the competitors line up on the solo start line. Paul Fry circles round, eases the clutch, waits to be called in. They'll be given the option of positions on point scoring, probably those with the top point scores in the qualifying races will be called in first. They'll choose their position and then the others will follow as the points go down and take up their positions on the line. We can see Peter Carr in that very distinctive pink jacket, just one place in from the outside. Paul Fry looking anxiously for space. But all those points mean nothing. This is the race that counts. Only this one. The points have gone. They were qualifying. Down the hill they go. Who's going to break the lead? It's Steve Schofield out front. Marcel Gerhard goes There's a tremendous battle going on here with Steve Schofield and Marcel Gerhard side by side. Mark Lorum in third, and in fourth place, number 25. Second place, Mark Lorum in third, Robert Barth in fourth, and Middle across to the far side. And Marcel Gerhard challenges again. It's Gerhard coming round the outside. Joey looks over his shoulder. Gerhard is there, Lorum is there, then Barth, then Trevor Banks. It's Marcel Gerhard in second place. It's Steve Schofield in the lead. And here goes Lorum looking for second place. Lorum coming round the outside. Gerhard up the inside, hangs on to second place. It's Steve Schofield in the lead. It's still Schofield. Gerhard. Steve Schofield up in front. And Loram's going to have a go at Schofield surely as the check flag goes out. And Loram tries to come right round the outside of the lorry as they go for the flag. It's Schofield who wins. Loram in second place. Marcel Gerhard third. Robert Barth in fourth. Then Trevor Banks. Then number 30, Treloar there, and I think I've lost my voice. What can you say? What can you say? What a race. What a finish. Well, there we go. Steve Schofield's 6th win at the Ace of Aces. Mark Lorum in second place, and Marcel Gerhard, who fought every inch of the way, in third place. What a race. Well, here they come. Well done, Marcel. Great race. Well done, Mark. Terrific. Great race. Treloar goes by. Steve Schofield goes by. And look at Robert Barth doing the trick he did at the European final last year. Right backwards round the circuit. We've seen him do this before. He's enjoyed himself today. Great. Here he comes. He's coming round backwards. As I said, he's enjoyed himself. Well done, Robert. Give him room. Well done. Great. Well done, Robert. They'll realise, is he going to do it all the way round? It looks like it. He's going to make a lap of it. Meanwhile then, let's give you the official results. In first place, number 16, Steve Schofield. In second place, number 5, Mark Lorum. In third place, number 11, Marcel Gerhard. In fourth place, number 24, Robert Barth. In fifth place, number 22, Trevor Banks. In sixth place, number 30, Treloar. In seventh place, number 14, Peter Carr. In 8th place, number 2, Joe Screen. And in 9th place, number 27, Paul Fry. And the winner's time, 1 minute, 26.5.